Out with the old, in with the new.
That's right, folks. The Liberal Party of Canada is electing a new leader today. And today we're going to break it all down for you, how that affects the relationship between Canada and the U.S. Welcome back to the channel.
Life with the Jacksons. Well, we know that Leon's more into the political conversations than myself. I'm on a need-to-know basis on how it's going to affect me and my family. So we do have family and friends in Canada, and we know that this is buzzing all around. People have gotten off of social media because the conversation's going back and forth. So let's have a conversation on how we believe it affects us as Canadians and our family. We're not sharing our biases here.
No.
We're just doing what we believe and trying to have it fair. So I'm going to ask questions. Leon's going to answer.
I'll do my best.
So I got my cheat sheet here. So here it goes. So Leon.
Yes.
How is the new leader chosen to lead the Liberal Party in Canada?
So the new leader is chosen by the Liberal Party of Canada only. So you need to become a member of the Liberal Party of Canada. Once you register and become a member, you're given a ballot to vote. And then you can vote on whoever the candidate is that you prefer to be the new Liberal leader of Canada.
So if you're not a Liberal, pretty much you don't get a say
Correct.
on who is going to be voted in to take over the Prime Minister's position.
Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. Whoever gets voted in as the new leader of the Liberal Party will de facto be the new Prime Minister of Canada until the next election.
Which I don't think is fair, but again, that's
the way the system works. That's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So number two, what happens once the leader is elected?
Well,
so do they automatically become the Prime Minister?
Yes, they are. As I just mentioned, they are automatically the Prime Minister, and there's several options. They could call an election right away, or they can try and gain the trust of the opposition parties in government and have them work with the new leader. That way he remains in power, he or she, whoever is elected, remains in power until the designated election date, which is later in October of 2025.
So so it doesn't trigger a general election right away?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
No.
So what happens with Parliament? Does it continue or just continue from Trudeau, the Prime Minister that just resigned?
Basically, yeah, and that's up to the new leader. He can decide, or she can decide right away to go to the Governor General and say, no, we're going to go to an election, and they can drop the writ and go on the campaign, and then there will be an election date chosen, and that'll determine what happens to the government. He could, or she could also, like I said, gain confidence of the opposition parties, reopen Parliament, and govern up until the fixed date, which again is October of 25.
Well, I'm just thinking that it's a good time that, a good thing that the election is coming up.
Yeah.
So the Canadians have a choice, and they have to elect who they think would be the best to run their country.
Run the country,
right?
Correct. That's correct.
So next questions.
Yes.
How might the new Liberal leader approach relations with the United States differently than Trudeau?
Well, that's yet to be determined, really. But based on the campaign that the people the candidates that were trying to be the Liberal leader, based on their campaigns, I don't see it changing. They were running with the same message that Trudeau was currently running. So I don't, it's yet to be determined, but I don't see it changing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are there key policies that could shift or with the new leadership or impact trade at all?
Well, there should be, in my opinion, but again, that's yet to be determined. But the current situation that the country of Canada finds themselves in is a result of policies in the past where they've relied upon trade with the Americans. A lot of their commodities have one market only, which is the U.S. They've had policies that have eliminated or strangled the possibility of exporting products from different coasts within Canada, and that has now come back to bite them in the behind. Whether the new leader or whoever is elected after the next election that changes things to make put Canada first, then we'll have to wait and find out about that.
So, in your opinion, what are the biggest trade issues currently affecting Canada and the U.S.? Is it what you just finished talking about,
Well, somewhat. I mean, like I said, oil, for example, is Canada's biggest export. It goes to one market, basically. 99% of it is going to the United States. And again, that's based on policies that have been there for years, and the Canadians need to have a look in the mirror about that kind of stuff.
What about energy?
From an energy standpoint, like electricity, there's several provinces within Canada that have more abundant hydroelectrical power, nuclear power than other jurisdictions within Canada. And they sell their excess stuff again to the United States. One market again, of course. And that's where the Canada First approach has to come in, where they can share that electricity across the country of Canada. But the infrastructure is not there because of, want to call it NIMBYism or whatever, that has prevented infrastructure projects like that from going ahead.
Okay. Good. Could the new leader take a different stance on tariffs or trade agreements?
Well, I think based on the current situation that the U.S. is charging 25% tariffs on basically all Canadian products that are being imported into the United States or exported out of Canada. Canada has done reciprocal trade tariffs, tit for tat, dollar for dollar kind of thing. And now apparently China's added 100% tariffs on a lot of Canadian exports. So there's lots of things that the Canadian government needs to do to increase trade with other countries on what's happening. They need to find more diplomatic measures and come to the table in agreements with these different countries to make things more beneficial for Canadians.
And I think, from the conversations that we're having, and with our friends and family, the conversations in social media that they see, some things I don't understand where they get it from. And same with what we're reading and viewing. It's sometimes it crosses over and it doesn't say the same kind of message. It's one is going to be biased for Canadians and one's going to be biased for U.S. And just remember, that's what social media does.
Yeah.
So, really think about what the conversations are what the messages are.
Well, it's the old adage, there's one story, then there's the next story, and then there's the truth.
Yeah.
So that's where people need to find that common ground, come together and do what's right for all people.
And I find it's very, very scary sometimes, is that why can't everyone just love each other?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, maybe that's because of social media. Who knows?
I don't know.
Everyone's keyboard warriors behind their phones.
I don't know. It's just if everybody's kind and looks at the problems that the whole world is facing, maybe things will change. If one person makes a change and shows kindness and really thinks about what they're saying and what they're doing, it will make a difference.
Yeah. Absolutely. It will.
So let this life be our best life.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Drop some comments in the bottom if you have any. Until next time.
Bye-bye. We
Bye-bye.
look forward to connecting with you.